Hi, welcome to the Get Ready with God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor and I am your host. And I'm not God, obviously. I am not an expert in anything. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone. Say it with me. Hoping God is real. The Get Ready with God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. Should we talk about when life doesn't go the way that you want? I know we talk about that a lot because it's very relevant and relatable. But I'd like to talk about it again because it's hard, right? It's hard when life doesn't go the way that you wanted. And it can be hard to rally. I always tell Ryan, who is my husband, he said that he was listening to an episode last week and he said, "You just called me Ryan and you didn't give any context. And I feel like people might not know that I'm your husband." And I just said, then they should know better. They should know by now. Okay. Ryan is my husband's name. I have told him several times in our marriage, I'm just so tired of having to rally. I'm just so tired of getting back up, which is a very dramatic and victim-y thing to say, but sometimes it's been really valid. Sometimes I have been just being dramatic. But that is something that I say a lot of just, I'm so tired of having to rally. I'm tired of having to be the one that makes things okay for myself. I'm tired of having to do all of the mental gymnastics to reframe all of the things, to accept my reality, to be happy with who I am, to find the gratitude, to like my life. Just once, I'd like to like my life a little bit more effortlessly. I'm tired. It's hard to rally. And so I get knocked down. I get back up again. What's that song? Wouldn't it be so fun if we could play music on this podcast? Copyright would never let us. I get knocked down, but I get up again. People even get in trouble for singing songs on the podcasts. I mean, when they're actually really big podcasts, but we're on our way, right? Because you're liking and sharing and subscribing. Sharing the podcast is actually really, really, really helpful. So if you ever like anything, if anything ever helps you, sharing it, texting it, posting it is really, really helpful. I appreciate your support. Love you. Okay. I always say that I never land on my feet, but I always get back up. And that is how I feel about life not going the way that we wanted. I don't always handle it gracefully, but I usually come around. But that reframing, that gratitude, that journey is what I get tired of doing. That's when I say I'm tired of rallying. I'm tired of having to go on this journey. I just wanted to go my way. I just wanted to go my way. But I had an experience a few years ago with one of my children, and it was really, really hard experience. But it gave me a perspective shift where I realized that this child was not going to have the life that I had previously hoped they would have. And there was grief in that. And also, since then, it has unlocked the beautiful experience of getting to learn what life will be. And as a parent, Ryan, again, he's so popular in this episode. We have a big age gap in our kids. There's a 6-year age gap. We had 3 kids in 5 years, a 6-year age gap, and then we had 2 more kids in 3 years. And when we were having Sophie, who is our 3-year-old, I think she was 1 at the time. And I just said, what's your favorite part of having Sophie? Because there's so many traits of having a kid after an age gap because we're older and wiser and we have more perspective. And it's been a really beautiful experience to get to have. My friend April calls them dessert babies. It's just this last baby after a gap. And his answer is something that I really loved. He said, I think the best part of having Sophie is that I just get to learn who she is. I'm not putting on my expectations. I didn't have any hopes or dreams or expectations for her. Not in a bad way, but just I've learned that lesson that life and our children are different than we can't control it, right? And so he was just saying what a beautiful experience it was to get to just learn Sophie, to get to just know her and experience her and see her without trying to control her outcome and without having all of these expectations of what she needed to be. And it's a lesson I've learned through parenting, but I've applied to myself in my own life. And I've learned that as tiring as it is to rally over and over again, it's a gift. When we're able to let go of the life that we thought we should have, it opens up the life we get to have. And so much of our pain and suffering comes from trying to hold on so tight to what we wanted and what we thought should be. And when we're able to let go and experience the life that we have, even if it's not on our terms, I think we're saved from a lot of that unnecessary pain and suffering that just comes from holding on so tight to what we wanted instead of letting go and experiencing what we have. And it's not always easy. And there's a lot of grief in it. Some experiences more than others, but there's big disappointments and there's little disappointments. There's big turns and little turns. All of them carry their own complexities. But when we can just grieve what we aren't going to have, it allows us to see the good in what we do have. And my life is everything that I never wanted. And I feel like an entitled brat saying that because I have a good, easy, beautiful life. But it's not the one I wanted. And learning grief on the level of losing a child is never a lesson that I wanted. It's not what I'm grateful for. I'll never be grateful that he's gone, grateful that he's lost, but I am grateful for the perspective that it's given me. And I know there's a lot of platitudes around this of you don't know what God has in store for you and God will take you a better place than you ever thought you could go. Okay, maybe. He'll also take me harder places than I ever thought I could go. So let's not act like once I just let go and let God, it's been an awesome ride. It's so fun. It's not fun. It's hard. I'm not having a good time. But I'm grateful to be places I never would have dared go by myself. What's that song? I think it's big in the Christian community because I've seen a lot of ex-Christian TikToks joking about it. I hadn't heard it. It's not popular in the faith I was raised in. Do, 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 do. It's like, Jesus, take me further than I'd ever wander. It's like a really long worship song. Apparently it's like a big deal in Christian communities. I don't know. But someone sang it at church a few months ago, and it's become a song that I really love. But it's something about God taking us deeper than we ever would have wandered on our own. And I just resonate with that. So much of my life, I never would have chosen to take on. So many lessons I would never have chosen to learn. But I'm really grateful for it. But no, I'm still waiting for the plot twist to be like, and now she gets to learn how to navigate extreme wealth. You know what? I'm up for the challenge. Hit me. Hit me with that check, you know? I'd love that to be the plot twist. So far, not so much. But there are plenty of good things. There are plenty of good things, plenty to be grateful for, blah, blah, blah. You know the drill. But when life doesn't go as planned, grieve it how you need to. And then enjoy the freedom of no longer having to try to stuff every experience through the lens of, no, but it's okay because we can do this. And it's okay because of this. And I can still do this. Like, whew. Once you just say, my life is not going to be what I thought it was, you're a lot more open to the ride of what it gets to be. And there's a lot of good in that. XOXO, Gossip Girl, love you so much.